Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the 15th Annual Capital City Senior Games Celebration of Athletes. We're so glad you could join us here after, gosh, what's it been, about 21 days of competition, Sheila? Going back to February, late February, when we carried that torch around Cascades Park. I'm sure everyone had quite a bit to do. Between now and then, we all had quite a good time, and there were 700 of us this year who competed in the Capital City Senior Games. And a lot of the organizers always ask me, I'm Nick Gandy, and I work with the Florida Senior Games, so I also keep up with what all the other local senior games do around the state, and I am pleased to inform you all that the Capital City Senior Games, with 700 athletes this year, is the third largest local senior games qualifier in the state of Florida. Now, Cindy, Meade, you've got a long way to go to catch up with Polk County and the villages, because they all have over 2,000 athletes. But for the Capital City Senior Games being in their 15th year, to have 700 athletes when Tampa Bay, the Orlando area, Jacksonville area, some of the larger cities and communities in Florida, then Tallahassee, you all should be very proud of yourself, and we're glad you're here tonight. Tonight I have the privilege of working alongside Art Myers, who many of you know from his more than 4 decades, or almost 4 decades, quite a long time at WCTV Channel 6. He was on the morning and noon news for quite some time, and has seen his fair share of what goes on here in Tallahassee over those years. This is his 2nd year to join us here at the Celebration of Athletes, and he represents Capital Health Plan. Now, before I relinquish the microphone to Art for his part, I want to bring to the stage Commissioner Curtis Richardson to come up and say a few words. Thank you, Commissioner Richardson, for being here with us senior athletes tonight.
All right, thank you so much. Good evening. It is an absolute pleasure to be here. I'm Curtis Richardson, the Mayor Pro Tem of the great city of Tallahassee, the capital of the state of Florida, the All-America city that we have been twice designated. And I want to, on behalf of our Mayor, John Daly, and my colleagues on the City Commission, our City Manager, Reese Gold, welcome you all to the Celebration of Athletes at this 15th Capital City Senior Games. I was here for the opening and have, from a distance, watched you all over the last 21 days participate in the variety of sports that we have available. And it has been such a pleasure that we have been, as a city, have been able to provide these activities for you. You know, as we age, and I include myself in that category. I'll be 68 years old this year, y'all. Somebody say, you're a youngster. Thank you. But, you know, we have to stay healthy, and exercise is a part of that. We have to stay mentally alert, of course, and just the socialization, being around people and having that kind of social interaction keeps us healthy and in good spirits. And that's what these senior games are all about. I'm so pleased to hear that we're the 3rd largest in the state of Florida, and we're gonna, with me being a part of it, we're gonna outdo Polk County and the villages next year. That's our goal. But I want to congratulate all of the medal winners, well, not all of the medal winners, but all of the 700 athletes that participated in this year's games. And certainly want to congratulate the award winners. I had one young lady over there, I don't know if she can even walk with all those medals around her neck. I hope that you enjoyed yourself and that God will bless us to be here all together again next year, for next year, our 16th Capital City Senior Games here in the city of Tallahassee. So congratulations again to all of the athletes. You know, it was amazing to see all of the records that have been set this year as well. And so congratulations to all of the record setters for your various sports that you participated in. So again, thank you all for being here. Enjoy the evening. Before I end, I want to thank Sheila and her staff here at the Senior Center. Let's give them a hand. They have done a phenomenal job. And I'm sure you all have heard we will have a new senior center being built in the Walani development. And we're hoping that that will come online in the very near future and that we all will be able to enjoy that as well. So again, thank you all for being here. Enjoy the evening. God bless each and every one of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Richardson. And I have a little Senior Games tip for you. You don't have to tell people how old you are. You can just say, I'm in the 65 to 69 age group. Leave them guessing there. And that goes for the rest of you, too. I introduce myself as being in the 60 to 64 age group. So. Please welcome my co-MC for the evening, Mr. Art Myers. Like I said, I'm sure you've all seen a time or two while lounging on your couch or on your recliner when you have a minute from not being involved in Senior Games activity. Thank you, sir.
How's everybody doing out there? All right? Got to pull out my glasses so I can actually read something. Well, it's good to see you guys. This is kind of my second year being involved with the Senior Games. This year as an MC, not so much as a participant like I was last year. I was in table tennis last year, and this year the thought occurred to me I might want to go ahead and jump in and participate with some of these guys, like the gentleman right down here, and. But I got something wrong with my neck as far as there's like a disc in there that's kind of not real happy, and so I thought rather than aggravate that, I will let the other guys win this year, you know. And no, giving you a hard time. Oh my goodness! But I did have a good time that first time that I did that, and. I've got some other things going on too. The glasses, I just got cataract surgery. Anybody have any can you relate to that surgery, a cataract? Okay, good. All right, you got that? All right. And anybody else get hearing aids recently? Anybody else get hearing? I got hearing aids too. So I got hearing aids, cataract surgery, and a bad back. So I have since determined that what that is telling me is that I am too old for the Senior Games. That's what it is. It's just I'm giving you a hard time, but it really is good to be here with you tonight. And I was looking through some of the pictures that are online of some of the competitions all around the area that have taken place the last couple weeks here. And one thing that I noticed among a lot of the participants was that big smile. How many of y'all had a chance to look through some of the pictures on Facebook? That's one thing you notice. Almost everybody, and it probably doesn't make any difference whether you won or whether you lost bad like I did last year or whatever. It's just people having a good time together and mingling with each other and just enjoying each other. So that was a neat thing to see. Well, today we do want to celebrate our athletes who competed in the games and thank lots of our partners who made all of this possible. A special thanks to our presenting sponsor and the folks that I work with, Capital Health Plan. with Tony Kilgore and Tom Glennon, and if they could maybe stand and be recognized. There they are back in the corner there. Hey, guys. And CHP has a real heart for seniors, in case you didn't notice that. I mean, they're very, very highly rated in their health plans across the state and really across the nation, as a matter of fact. And they're very involved in the senior games. They've been doing this for 15 years, helping to be a major sponsor of the senior games. So we really appreciate what those guys are doing. All right. We'll talk more about that in just a few seconds. Can you believe that we have now passed that 700 athletes mark? That is something else. And apparently just going up from here. So that is a wonderful thing to see. Another sponsor we would like to recognize is Audiology Associates. They both sponsor and volunteer for the game. So are they in attendance? There they are right back there. All right. We do appreciate your longtime support as well. Thank you so much. Also providing many of the resources, venues, staffing, and coordination are hosts the City of Tallahassee Parks, Recreation and Neighborhood Affairs Department, and the Senior Center. All those folks deserve a big hand too. And our City of Tallahassee officials, we just heard from Commissioner Curtis Richardson, and there's a lot of other folks involved too in the leadership there for the City Commission and others. Thank you to our Mayor, John Daly, and commissioners there for always supporting the senior games and our 50-plus population in Tallahassee throughout the year. So thank you so much to those guys and ladies. All right, one other person we want to bring up for sure is Ashley Edwards. Is Ashley here tonight? Is she here tonight? She is not here tonight. Probably she's exhausted. I'm just saying, just trying to put all this together. She's the director of Parks, Recreation, Neighborhood Affairs. She's a great cheerleader of the games. All 15 years she's been involved, and we are very grateful for her support of making these games happen. All right. To our record number of athletes, just to be part of the games is an accomplishment. Thank you so much for playing. If you would, if you took part in the games this year, if you actually competed, would you stand, please? All right, give yourself a big hand, okay? Very good. All right. All right, you may be seated. You may be seated, and right now let's have Nick come back up, and he's going to tell us about some of the accomplishments from this year's games. He mentioned some of them a little bit earlier. Let's get a little specific and find out about maybe some of those records. Nick?
Thank you, Art. As he mentioned, the 700 athletes, and I can't tell you how honored I am to be here tonight and to compete in the Capital City Senior Games, because with my job with the Florida Senior Games, I do travel around the state. And I've been to the Villages Senior Games, I've been to the Polk County Games, I've been to the Tampa Bay Senior Games. I work at the annual Florida Senior Games, which is every December. And to be here tonight as a host of this program and an athlete who bowled at Capitol Lanes and did bag toss at Gaither Community Center, I can't express how proud I am to be a senior athlete in the Capital City Senior Games. So I hope you all feel the same way. 700 athletes competed in 1,600 events these past 3 weeks. The Capital City Senior Games welcomed 4 new sports, which we'll recognize shortly. One athlete, Mr. Randall Smith, who's seated right over here, has competed in all 15 Capital City Senior Games. And he apparently has the experience to back it up, because he had the top overall time of all male cyclists this year in the 5K and 10K time trials. Many years ago, an athlete riding in the cycling time trials told me riding in the time trial cycling is an effort in who can withstand the most pain, because you're competing against yourself. There's not somebody on either side of you who you're trying to beat. You set a goal for yourself and you try to reach that goal. And it involves some levels of pain, apparently. Maybe Randall can tell us about it a little bit later. 3 athletes have competed in 14 of the 15 years. Charles Williams, who I have not seen here tonight, literally worked both sides of the street at Godby High School on the opening weekend of the Capital City Senior Games, doing the javelin and I think they did the discus over on the practice field at Godby High School, and then came over to the football practice field and did all the running events. Anthony Hardiman, he's been in 14 of the 15 years. Is Mr. Hardiman here? He shot an 83 to win a bronze medal. And Jerry Rhodes, Mr. Rhodes, are you here? Mr. Rhodes shot a 79 in golf to win the silver medal. Must have been some pretty good competition in his age group if he got a silver with a 79. He also played basketball and tossed horseshoes. 7 of our most experienced athletes in their 90s competed in 7 different sports. Our most experienced athlete in the 2024 Capital City Senior Games was Miss Evangeline Steinmeier, 98 years old, who was at the bag toss competition. Is Ms. Steinmeier here? Don Rapp, 95 years old, ran the 100-meter dash, and he set a record. He established a new record, is what I meant to say, because there has not been anyone in the 95 to 99 age group in the Capital City Senior Games 100-meter dash team. And the new athletes, the future of the Capital City Senior Games, there were 5 new entries in the 50-54 age group. So any of you 50-54, 55-59 age group, tell your friends. We need to keep building on the successes that we have here in the Capital City Senior Games. Any of newcomers, first-timers, please stand up. First-time athletes in the Capital City Senior Games. Like I said, tell your friends, tell your friends. And there were lots of records broken this year. You have the printout of all the records broken. Now, the ones that stood out to me are the powerlifting. The powerlifters are broken down into age group and weight class. So that's why all the records. But still, congratulations to you guys on your accomplishments. Some other ones that stood out to me, also playing golf. 6 women's records were set this year on the golf course. And a couple of years ago, I was out in the golf competition, and there were only a handful of women out there. There's 100 golfers out here, but I can count the number of women out here on my hands. And apparently the competition level has gone up, the participation level has gone up, so good for you ladies golfers that are here tonight. My friend Lois Johnson, who swims in the Florida Senior Games and who I saw at the National Senior Games in Pittsburgh last summer, set 6 records in her age group. The competition just keeps getting better. The athletes who've trained hard all year around, they keep getting better as well. 85 athletes in their 80s and 90s. 85 out of 700, that's more than 10%. Good job to our more experienced athletes. And the people that I saw at almost every event, I think they got a little competition going. I'm going to announce just Ebo. Everyone knows Ebo, right? I haven't seen her here tonight. She must be out playing pickleball or something. But she was in 17 events. Gary Nelson was in 20 events. Or is that Gary Nelson or Gary Hansen? That's what I thought. Gary Hansen, who I know from the opening ceremony, he was all over the place too. Sorry I didn't get to bowl with you, Gary. I had a busy schedule on the day of men's doubles bowling. Bob McVenny, right up front here, 22 events. And your annual duel with Ryan Burke, you came up one event short. He was at 23. And just a couple weeks ago, I was seeing pictures of him on Facebook in New Zealand. So apparently he came back from New Zealand just to be in the Capital City Senior Games. So next time you see him at one of the variety of events, pat him on the back for that. Art, you've got some accomplishments to read. Where all these athletes came from, besides those of us who just went down the road from our homes to the various locations around town.
All right, thank you very much, Nick. Appreciate that. And speaking of the athletes and where they come from, apparently 11 different states were represented at the games this year. And so the farthest one, can you guys guess where the farthest state was? Alaska. Well, it wasn't quite that far, but you're close. You're in the right direction. Washington State. Okay, Washington State. Pretty impressive there. It's interesting because the guy is a long distance runner, and he did run here from Washington State, and then participated. Pretty amazing. I'm totally kidding. He would have worn out about 4 pairs of tennis shoes on the way, I'm sure. But anyway, congratulations to those who came. I also hear that Russell Henley, is that you, Russell, over there? You're from Colquitt, Georgia, is that right? So you participated as well as somebody from another state, so congratulations to you. What was your event? The 400. Okay, all right. That's some serious running right there. We appreciate that. All right, well, we hosted here in Tallahassee 19 different sports at 16 different venues with the help of the city and community partners and lots of volunteers, and some of those will be recognized a little bit later. When your sport that you participated in is called, we'd like you to stand up, let us know in what sports you competed, okay? We're going to go through this list fairly quickly here, okay? Well, let's see which sport has the most participation. And the results will be available on talgov.com, all right? And pictures are being posted in the TSC Facebook page, all right? So let's try this. Okay, the game started with golf at the city's beautiful Heileman Golf Course. So if you participated in golf, would you please stand? Somebody right back there, okay. Anybody else? There we go, we got a few of those folks over there. Excellent. Good job, guys. Looks like you had a pretty nice day of it out there. Although it did look a little chilly, but you braved the cold. That's a good thing. All right, then we did bowling singles one Friday, and then bowling doubles the next Friday at Capitol Lanes. And we saw some of the pictures on Facebook. There's a couple of ladies that looked like they did doubles. They looked like they could eat a bowling ball for lunch. They were tough. You know, they looked tough. I wouldn't want to take them on. So if you participated in bowling, would you stand up, please? All right. Let's see. Very good. Looking a little closer. Let's see if I could stay away from those people. I don't want to insult them. All right. Next up, track and field events. They were held one Saturday at Godby High School. So if you're track and field, if you hit the track and field events, why don't you stand, please? Very good. Excellent. Gary, I saw you over there. What did you compete in? In track and field. What was your event?
Well, I was just trying to be second best to Bob McVeeny over there. 100 meters, 200 meters.
Okay.
Shot, discus,
Wow.
jump.
That's a lot of stuff. My goodness. I'm worn out just hearing it. Okay. Track and field. All right, next up is horseshoes at Forest Meadows. This took place on Sunday, so let us see you if you participated and you pitched horseshoes. Very good. All right. The bag toss at Jake Gaither. Where are our bag toss participants? Okay. There's a lot of them. Very good. And I imagine that a lot of those ladies over there might have been talking trash that day. I don't know. Is that true? Nick was over there. He's going, that's quite a rowdy group, so that's good. All right. Next up, over 300 people played pickleball. They played for 3 days at Jack McLean, Walker Ford, and Four Oaks Parks in Southwood. That's that beautiful new park down in Southwood. So where are pickleball players? Would you stand? Woo. What does it take to be a really good pickleball player? What'd you say? You said bribery? Is that what you said? I'm kidding. All right. Good job. That's an enthusiastic group right there. All right. Next up, power lifters at Premier. Let me see you flex, you power lifters out there. If you could stand up. If you could pick up the diner next to you and just let me see how you do with that. All right, racquetball at Forest Meadows. Are you a racquetball player? Did you light up the court out there? Very good. Good job. Archery participants. Did you go out and shoot the arrows at the targets way far away? Did you? Who were some of those archery folks? Are you here? Okay. Don't see any here. They probably got very sore arms this morning, pulling those things back. All right, basketball shooting took place Saturday morning at Sue McCollum Center at Lafayette Park. I hear there's some great competition in those shooting events where Deborah Salter set a new record. All right, Deborah Salter set a new record. In the 65 to 69 age group in time shooting and free throws, she set the bar high. Very good. Congratulations there. Is that the winning form right there? Whew, nice. Okay, how about table tennis? It took place Saturday at Jack McLean Center out there. Let us know if you took part in that. Stand up, please. Thank you. Good job, guys. All right, on Sunday, cycling took place. Some of those athletes, we understand that all the ages were well represented, including the men's 85 to 89 age group. Would you stand if you were part of the cycling? Good job. All right. How about tennis doubles and mixed doubles that were played at Forest Meadows? Did you take part in that? All right. Congratulations to those folks who took part in that. How about water aerobics? It's become a crowd favorite. Let's hear it for the Fit Water folks. I got to say, looking at the Facebook pictures, though, you guys look cold in that water, man. I see these pictures and you're like, huh? But you did well. You did well. All right, how about swimming? That was hosted at Wade Wehunt Pool at Myers Park. Let's hear it for all the swimmers out there. Okay, mountain biking for fun at Lafayette Heritage Trail. Looked like you guys had a gorgeous day for that out at Lafayette Heritage Trail. All right, mountain biking was a lot of fun, I am sure. All right, we're coming down to the end of that list, guys, coming down to it. How about disc golf at Tom Brown Park? Any of y'all throwing the disc out there for the... Good job. And we understand billiards came back with several players at, is it Zingales? Is that how you pronounce that? Zingales? That's a yes. Any billiard players out there? Over here. I don't trust those billiard players. I don't know what the deal is. All right. Now, this is an interesting one. Bocce ball, okay? Bocce ball. Apparently they played at Forest Meadows over 2 days because there were so many folks registered for that. And you got to be good at bocce ball. You have to be able to sip cappuccino while you throw. You know, it's just, they're really classy in the bocce ball. All right, that is a lot of sports and a lot of athletes. Okay, let's talk about medal winners, all right? I hate to make you stand up again, but if you won a bronze, all right, if you won a bronze in any of these things we've mentioned, would you please stand? We'll give you a hand. Congratulations. All right. If you won a silver in any of these competitions, would you stand? All right. And if you brought home the gold in any event, would you stand, please? Woo. All right. Let's give all these athletes a great big hand now. All right. Good job, guys. Good job. All right. Well, let's move along right now, and let's have Nick come back up, and he's going to talk about some of the athletes, and we're going to meet them and just chat with them briefly personally and find out what the games meant to them. So, Nick?
Thank you, Art. I get to do this a lot in my job with the Florida Senior Games as a communications director. So this is my favorite part of the show, is talking to the athletes and letting you hear their story about how they compete and what they do and what motivates them. And we're gonna start with one of those 85 athletes that were in the 80s and 90s age group. Ms. Geneva Colson, will you please come up here and join me? I think she might have been one of the people that stood up every time when Art asked about bronze, silver, and gold medalists. She probably got up every time, Art. Look at all that hardware she's got there. She is in the 85 to 89 age group. And she set a shot put record this year at the track and field. Now, I'm not sure of what weight of a shot put she threw in her age group, but it had to be at least 4 or 5 pounds, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Here, come join me over here.
Yes.
So what else did you do at track and field?
Well, I did the bag toss, horseshoe, bowling, and the new game, bocce, and what's the other one? There's another one. Marie, what was it? Yeah, I did horseshoes. I did 5 things. I got 3 golds and 2 silver.
Oh, she didn't stand up for the bronze.
Yeah.
But now, all right, I mentioned at least the 4-pound shot put. How much did the bowling ball weigh? What size bowling ball did you use?
What did I use? A 7.
So, all right, I tell people this all the time. Ms. Colson, in the 85 to 89 age group, when you bowl 3 games. So she rolled, what was it?
3 games.
I mean, how many? 7-pound? A 7
7
pound
pounds
bowling
or-
ball,
yeah.
roughly about 40 times
yeah,
from
but-
here to the back wall. So that took quite a bit of effort as well. So what do you do to keep in such, look at you here.
Well,
What do you do to keep in
I
such
don't
good
mind
shape?
telling my age. I'm 88 years old.
All right.
Yeah. And I was a nurse for 40 years, and I did a lot of running and pushing and going, so that's why to keep up. And I did a lot of track and stuff in high school. So that's been years ago.
Did you do any running events in the track and
Yes.
field? Yeah?
Little bit.
100? 1,500?
Yes.
Four times around the track or just 100?
Maria and I used to walk 5 miles every morning, get up 6 o'clock and walk 5 miles every morning. And I still got it. So as long as God gives me the strength to do it, I'll do it.
Are you going to be back next year?
I sure will. It's God's will.
All right.
Yeah. And I enjoyed the fellowship of you all, who all I came in contact. There was a lady who was 97?
98.
98.
Ms. Steineman. Mm-hmm.
And I sure enjoyed her. She and I competed together. Thank you all.
Thank you, Ms. Colson. Art, do you have anything to add to Ms. Colson there?
I was just going to say, I mean, she said she walked 5 miles every morning. I could run 5 miles every morning if there was a big enough dog chasing me. I tell you, that is really impressive, though, and I think that, man, I don't know if I'm going to be quite in that kind of shape when I'm a few years older than I am now. All right. Thank you, Nick, and thank you, Glenda. All right, we'd like to once again thank our sponsors who make these games possible. Again, the primary sponsor, Capital Health Plan, Tom Glennon and Tony Kilgore. Once again, thank you guys. They really have a great reputation, not only in the Tallahassee and the Florida area, but all across the nation. One of their surveys, how many of you guys look at the ratings before you buy anything these days, or before you, investigate anything to buy? I don't know, but if you're like me, I always look at how many stars have they got, If it's 2 stars, no way. If it's, 3.5, maybe. If it's 5, we're good, So one of the surveys that they did of customer satisfaction came back perfect 5 stars, So it says a lot about their commitment to the folks there on their health plans. So another big sponsor is Audiology Associates, and there they are right over there again. And you guys also volunteer at the games. What do you do when you volunteer at the games? What kind of things do you do? Say that again? Okay, very good, very good. Well, thank you so much for taking part in that, and I'll have to come see you for my, checkup for my hearing. So apparently the ones I got are not working as well as they should. All right, and thanks to our partners, Visit Tallahassee Sports Council, the Florida Sports Foundation, Friends of Our Parks, and the Tallahassee Senior Foundation. Thank you to the city communications guys and gals out there in WCOT, Karen Kirksey, Tom Bronikowski, also Gil Daspit and Damian Farber. Damian is back there doing here he is right there, doing some of the filming for this. And so, yeah, you guys are doing a great job putting all this together, and it is a big task, I know. You can look for tonight's program and other things that they have produced from the senior games on WCOT in just the next few weeks. And because we are recording this program right now, you can share with your friends and family across the country in a couple of days. So once this thing comes down, they get it produced, then you can give folks that you know in other parts of the country a link to that maybe. So, all right. Well, let's go back to Nick right now. We got somebody else to meet that is a little younger, but not a lot younger than Glenda. Who's this?
Our next guest is relatively new to the Capital City Senior Games. This was his 3rd year of competition. Please welcome Mr. Mark Gargiulo. And he won't sneak up on any of you. I spoke with him earlier this afternoon, and we were talking about all the different sports that he did. He was in bag toss, horseshoes, basketball shooting, powerlifting, and swimming. Now, Mark has a background in swimming. He was the swim coach and a history teacher at McClay High School for 18 years. And he won 6 gold medals and set 2 records, and his wife Sarah, who's seated right down there, she won 5 gold medals and set 2 records herself. So if you visit the Myers Park Pool or Truesdale Aquatic Center, you might run into these people. So, Mark, what did you enjoy most out of the 6 sports you were in?
Definitely not swimming. That almost killed me. I would say I really liked the beanbag toss because it was one and done for me. And right behind that was the horseshoes because that was one and done for me. So, but they were fun. I really enjoyed both of those.
You're talking about the bag toss. The female population in that, it had to have been like 2 to 1, and the only other gentleman in my age group didn't show up, so I played a nice lady there, and I saw she also stood up in billiards, and we had the most competitive game. In competitive bag toss, you hit the board and they have cancellation scoring. So if I had, 3 bags on the board and she had 4, she got 1 point. And I don't think any of our games, which she won, went to more than 10 points because we were both consistently hitting the board and canceling each other out. So I'm sure you had the same kind of...
I did. But do you want to know what I did not like the most?
Yeah, sure.
It was the basketball shoot. And the reason why I didn't like it is because they put us down there with all the women, and good golly, they did not miss. Meanwhile, it was the most embarrassing thing to do.
I did that one year too, and Ms. Salter, who had 22 out of 30, I have sympathy for those high-level players who stand in the free throw line at the end of the game with 5 seconds left and the game on the line. It's tough, isn't it, Mark?
I'm telling you, it was embarrassing.
Well, they get a lot more practice than we do anyway. And, look at you. You're in the 75, 79 age group. What else do you do to stay in such great shape? You and your wife, too. Both of you. You're like a picture of health.
Well, we have to do that at our age to stay fit and move and do all that. So, yes, our routine, we get up every morning and we go to the pool and we swim about 2,000 or 3,000 yards. And we do it, we work out, we don't just swim it. And then every other day we go to the gym, and right after we swim, we lift weights. And we do that every other day. And then in between that, we both play pickleball and get a good workout, cardio workout playing pickleball. So you stay active.
All right, everyone, it's that easy. It's that easy. Mark, thank you so much, and keep up the good work.
And I really believe that everybody can do that, and these senior games are just a blessing for all of us, and we got to just keep on doing it, right? Thank you.
All right, Art, I think you have some more folks to recognize the backbone of the Capital City Senior Games, shall we say?
Yes, we do. All right. Thank you very much. So you swam like 3,000 yards or something like that every day? We used to have a pool that big too, but we had to get rid of it. It's just way too much chlorine. And no, that is impressive, you guys. I would never have guessed that you were 77, right, Mark? My goodness. You look great. You look great. And your wife looks wonderful, too, as a matter of fact. So now I'm in trouble with my wife because, why are you saying his wife looks great? Okay. I don't know. I'm in trouble. I got to introduce my bride. There she is right there next to Nick. Hey, cutie. All right. Well, we'd like to recognize and thank our volunteers for helping make these games possible. Especially want to thank our volunteer photographers, Sam Pate, and these are a bunch of names that they put in here. They made up these names so that I would have a hard time. Judy Fongheiser, okay. Bob Fierstein, I think is how they pronounce his name. Okay, are any of those folks here in attendance? You guys are, okay, right over here, okay. Hopefully I pronounced your names right. Photographers, you did a great job, along with Senior Center staff, spent many hours taking those photos and uploading them to the Senior Center Facebook page. They are really beautiful pictures that you guys have taken. They really capture those events really well. And thank you so much for doing that so well. Go to the Tallahassee Senior Center Facebook page and you can relive your shining moments. So your picture may very well be displayed there. It takes a lot of extra hands to make the games a success. If you volunteered for any part of the games, we would like you to stand right now and be recognized, please. All right? Thank you. Thank you so much for the folks who volunteered. Senior Games is a huge production, and all the athletes, 19 sports, 16 different venues over 3 weeks' time. That is a lot of coordination and moving pieces, that's for sure. All right. Well, time now to get back with Nick, and we're going to meet one other person, actually a couple of more interviews of some of the athletes who competed. So, Nick, who's up next?
Well, in my travels over the last 19 days, everywhere I went, I'd like to recognize Cindy Mead, who, like me, has advanced into competition age in the Senior Games movement. And as a sports industry professional, I always enjoy seeing younger people come along to eventually fill spots for people like me who are now in the 60 to 64 age group. And Kiana, please wave there. Everywhere I went, when I would see her, she greeted me with a smile. She seemed to be enjoying herself with the athletes. So thank you so much for your efforts that you've put forth in these past 19 days, and keep up the good work. Our next guest is, we'll try and keep this short, Deanie Bryson. She is more comfortable, apparently, participating in sports and speaking in front of a group. So we'll try and take it easy on her. I know that the camaraderie and the encouragement from other athletes will help her with her public speaking abilities here. So Deanie, 7 sports: pickleball, bowling, table tennis, bocce, track and field, bag toss, horseshoes. How did you find the time?
I made the time, took off from work a few days, and some were on the weekend, thankfully.
And of the 7 sports, I think you told me you have a background playing softball going back to Leon High School. What have you adapted to the most of pickleball, javelin, shot put, horseshoes, bowling, you know, the list goes on.
Pickleball is the sport. Everybody should play it.
And you played, as your partners here from mixed, and who's that?
Kathy Bedsole, the one who made me have to do this.
Okay, so Kathy is your women's doubles partner, and what did you win with Kathy?
We won ping pong doubles.
Oh, you didn't win.
We didn't, no.
Because 300 players, you had a lot of competition, huh?
Yes.
Did you stay at the Four Oaks Park all day on the day of women's doubles?
Yes, we did. And I did win in mixed doubles with Grant Beck.
Is Grant here?
No.
No? Okay. Well, what advice do you have for people that are thinking about joining the Senior Games movement?
Oh, definitely come join. It is the most fun you can have.
And is that because of the athletic competition and the camaraderie, or what?
The camaraderie, the people you get to meet, your friends you get to play with, it's all worth it.
There you have it.
Taking days off from work, it's worth it to go play.
And where do you work? Did you wear the medals back to work the next day?
No.
Where do you work?
I work at Berkeley Research Group.
Okay, I'm sure your coworkers would see them on you, and that is the biggest thing that gets people involved in the Senior Games. One of Deanie's coworkers will say, well, gosh, if she can do it, I can do it.
They're all younger than me and can't wait till they can do this.
There you have it. Tell your friends, even the younger ones, all you got to be is 50. I tell that to people all the time. They say, I'm not a senior. Well, you're 50. You can compete. And so thank you, Deanie, and keep up the good work. And we look forward to seeing you again. And our final athlete guest, see that bike over there in the corner? That's Randall Smith's bike. He rode to the event tonight. And in putting together information about him for the torch run, I found he has 24 bicycles, some that he put together himself. This gentleman is committed to cycling. Mr. Smith, come up here and let's hear your story. And for those of you that don't know, in the senior games competition and the high level that some of these cyclists are, their bikes cost $5,000, $10,000. No? No? More?
No, I'm cheap.
No, but some of them do.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but you put them together yourself,
Yeah.
so you're saving on the labor and all that. When did you start cycling?
86. I needed a way to get to work.
You speak.
So I started riding to work.
He told me before the reason he needed a way to get to work was he had a car accident, so he rode a bike. Apparently you weren't injured in the car accident where you couldn't ride a bike.
No. But yeah, the vehicle I was in was wrecked, so I went and bought a bike on a Sunday afternoon and rode to work on Monday.
In 1986, and now in the 65 to 69 age group, he's posting the top times of all the male athletes at the Capital City Senior Games. He competed in the Florida Senior Games. Have you been to the national games?
No.
No?
I have not done that.
They're in Des Moines in 2025.
It's a long drive.
Yeah, I know. Now, what is the most enjoyable part of the senior games for you?
Just seeing everyone, people who have taken care of themselves, had the great genetics, and just have the love to compete. I'm waiting to see how long I can do this.
I followed a gentleman who was well into his 90s at the National Senior Games this past year. He's from Hollywood, Florida. And not only is he cycling, but his wife does, and now his daughter are all cycling together in the senior games. So apparently it's good for you if you can keep it up. And I'm sure a lot of the other sports and just getting out and doing it is the same kind of thing. I mean, when you started 15 years ago, you were in that 50 to 54 age group. Did you have to convince people that you were a senior games athlete, but not a senior?
I had to convince myself of that because I just couldn't wrap my head around that you're now considered a senior at 50. I still don't feel senior. I'm still 17 up here.
Mark, do you agree? Ms. Colson, do you agree about feeling 17? I don't know if you do you? Yep. You feel like you're 17 when you're out there playing? She said sometimes younger, if you didn't hear that. But thank you, Mr. Randall Smith, for being a part of all 15 Florida Senior or Capital City Senior Games. And I don't know if you've noticed, but I have displayed quite a few shirts from my participation. Do you still have all these shirts, Randall?
I have the shirts. I no longer have the medals.
Oh, what'd you do with them?
I had to get rid of them. I got a new wife after my wife died, and apparently my previous life did not matter, so everything had to go.
Well, you got a lot more time to accumulate more medals, so keep up the good work, Randall, and we appreciate your dedication to the senior game. Art? going to bring this to a close. We've been at it for about an hour now, and I think we might lose people's attention if we keep them here any longer.
I tell you what. Well, that was great. That guy is pretty amazing right there. I'll tell you what, there was a couple of folks that I wanted to thank as well before we get out of here. City Parks and Recreation staff does a great job of running these events. I'm sure all of you will agree. Thank to our venue partners as well as our senior center staff, and also behind the scenes holding all those pieces together and managing logistics, Cindy Mead. All right, let's have a hand for her. Thank you. Thank you, Cindy, for keeping everything running so smoothly. We really appreciate that. Thanks for the great job you do. All right, let's give them a really big hand, the last couple of folks there. All right, we're pretty much down toward the end of it right here, and we're celebrating what happened this year, but also looking forward to future competitions, right? Before we go, I want to wish all the athletes who have qualified for the state senior games, all right, being hosted in Pasco County, December 2024.
Come
right?
see me in Pasco County.
Right.
If you finished in the top 5 of your age group, you qualified for the Florida Senior Games in December in Pasco County.
Fantastic. And we'll all ride down there in his station wagon, so that'll be a lot of fun. Just kidding. Anyway, but we know that you will represent Tallahassee well if you go down to those games there in Pasco County. As we know, we are never too old to go for the gold, right? Never too old to go for the gold. And thank you, Nick, so much for co-hosting tonight and doing such a great job and going through all those T-shirts. That was amazing. All right, thanks again to Capital Health Plan and also Audiology Associates for sponsoring, the City of Tallahassee for making sure that all these games could happen the way that they did so well. To the athletes, thank you for coming back. Your enthusiasm and your gratitude and support of each other make these games a great success. We hope you enjoyed tonight's celebration. We hope you'll keep playing and look forward to seeing you back in 2025. So let's do that one last slogan again. We're never too old to go for the goal. Let's say that in unison, all right? You ready? You're never too old to go for the goal. Give yourselves a big hand. Thank you for coming.